Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully everything's going well for you. It's going alright for me. Been a pretty good week, actually. Spent some time with family, spent some time with friends, and take a little time off from work, you know. Just kind of a nice week. So today we're jumping in and doing session 42 of the solo RPG, and oh, somebody's upset. Hold on. Yeah. Anyways, we're jumping in. So last time I just want to do a recap. This time we're going to be running back through the dungeon. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get out of here. After finding sort of what we thought we wanted, what we thought we were going to get information-wise, as well as now we have an extra person, a prisoner that we found that we pulled up, Jurgen, who's coming back with us. So doing all of that. And I just wanted to sort of jump in and do a brief talk about sort of what we're doing before we just sort of head off. So what happened last time? So we had finished up that trapdoor combat with the gnolls and the scriptorium. That went really badly. We were injured in that fight, which ended up being kind of a worthless one. There wasn't really any loot, and it was a dead end. And the loot that we did get was like an amphora that was worth nothing, a hand drum that was worth nothing, and a pouch of 5 silver, which is, compared to the wealth that we have now, not that much, and not particularly useful to us. So we did a little backtrack down through that trapdoor, down and back into the mausoleum, with now that burned psychic vampire corpse, or staked psychic vampire corpse that's in there. So we did that. And we're decided to go back to the hall under the Underfountain and go to the sort of like operating theater that we know had been converted into sort of a command room from that scrap of map that we got from one of the Gnoll captains. Let's see. This is... Hold on. I am recapping the time before. We're going to do that over again. Let's see. Yeah, because we started with... Yeah, alright, that's right. Sorry. Here we go. So we made it through because I was like, we did the thing before, right? Yes. So we have the sort of command room. We found a note that the Confederation is for the purpose of collecting Leah, which was weird. These were all the clues that we uncovered in the command room, the operating theater. Leah is sifting through those documents quickly. They did the interrogation of the noble and the warrior, right? We did the snooping through we failed all our stuff to get through the faction documents, unfortunately, so we didn't get a ton of information about what's kind of going on with their stuff. We did the focus through Harold's soul and the spellbook to try and break some of the cipher or coding. And we did get through it that way. We don't know really why they want Leah. Our sort of assumption is that it's some sort of political motivation for their actions. It's something that we think it's something to do with her father and using her as sort of leverage to get him to do something or not do something. We're not really sure. Like we said, we don't really have a good idea. We went trying to figure out if maybe the Confederation is to like soften up the sort of local area for an invasion, a defection, something. We did hear a commotion in the supply closet while we were going through that stuff. Embar kicked it open. We found our prisoner, who's joining us as our new sidekick, who will replace Delg once we get back, functionally, mechanically. And that is Jurgen, the dwarf, who is a spellcaster and a healer. It's our wisdom-based sidekick, yeah. So we took a bunch of the coded communique. So we're definitely Leah's taking that back, and she's going to hope that Omer, who has cipher and cryptographic specialties, can maybe help with it, the coded stuff. Jurgen's stuff we think is somewhere in the dungeon still, but we are actually not that interested in finding anything for her. Really, we're going to get out of here, and she's not giving us any indication that she needs to stay. and she doesn't know where her stuff is, so we don't really want to crawl the dungeon anymore. Imbar executed the prisoners. We did sneak up on some orcs enjoying a few drinks in a different scriptorium. We were able to take them out very easily. We didn't take any injuries in that fight, which was a nice change of pace. And one of the things, the big thing that we got was that dwarven rye whiskey that's worth almost 100 gold or something like that. It's worth quite a bit. So we got that and picked that up. And we got the note from the orders for the orcs about scattering order, and to it that the orders are supposed to spread thin defensive resources because we weren't really able to talk it. It was something, it's like sort of a patois somewhere between Orcish and Common, kind of thrown in with a bunch of different languages, so we could only understand part of it. We did find a hidden compartment with a wax seal stamp with the old heraldic crest of Carjuntan. That would give us advantage on forged documents. I don't know why we would need to do that. We might just sell it to some unscrupulous person for money. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We did take a short rest, and we made the decision. That's when we made the decision to retreat in the dungeon. And then I left a note for myself. A quick note: while creating Jurgen's sidekick sheet, she did end up with medium armor proficiency, and I did an oracle roll, and she can wear the noble's breastplate. So I ended up going back and giving that to her retroactively, because we didn't think that she was going to be able to wear it, because we didn't know what her proficiencies were going to be as a sidekick. So we just kind of used Delgs, who can only wear light armor. So that's what we're doing. We're picking it up this time. We are escaping the dungeon. That is our plan. So right now we are in the sort of hidden scriptorium, and that's where we took our short rest. So everybody's got a little bit of heal going on. Everybody's all right. Nobody's in great shape, but we're okay. Sorry. Let me pull it over so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I'll need to set this up. Let's go here. Boop. There you go. Now you can see it, just like I can see it. Of course, if this is your first time watching, jump in if you have any questions and drop them in, and I will try to answer them as I can. We also have a playlist which has everything in it, so if you're not watching the playlist, you can go all the way back to session 1 and see us build up a little bit of the world and characters and how we got to this point. But I think that's it. I think we're just gonna jump in and go from it. So I know I have my handy dandy just hand scrawled map. I know that we are right now in sort of the dilapidated temple scriptorium. So, assuming that we stay correct on our path, which we haven't been mapping, so there's a chance we could get lost. I think it's going to be more of a survival check, though we've passed through some of this quite often, back and forth. So we're going to have to make it through at least 1, 2, at a minimum 3 rooms to get back. So, that's sort of our setup. So, I mean, there's nothing really to it except let's jump in and do it, right? So we've collected everybody from our short rest. Everybody's looking all right. Leah's got 1 hit die remaining. She got a spell slot back, so she's pretty good as far as spells are concerned. Inbar looks good. She also has one hit die remaining, but she otherwise looks pretty fine. She got her second win back too, and she has pretty good HP. Ott is not doing as great. She's about a third down her hit points, no hit dice remaining, but she's good as far as the things she can do. Delg is out of hit dice. Delg has 11 hit points. He is not doing well. And we really don't want him to go down, being our primary healer. And then we have Jurgen, who right now has a spear. She has some spells, but I don't think they're probably... No, because you have to complete a long rest to get your spells up. Because you have to because she's a prepared caster and she needs to redo them after a long rest. So, she does not have any spells right now. Well, I guess she has her cantrips. Her cantrips are always ready. So she has her cantrips, but she does not have any of her first level like cure wound spells, which is not great for us. She has all her hit points. I went ahead and took away I rolled for it and took away 3 of her hit dice. And she has that breastplate, so she has a 14 AC. It'd be great if she could pick up a shield at some point. Or, no, I guess that's true. Right now she doesn't have an arcane implement or component spell, so she actually can't even do her cantrips. If they have material components, which I'm sure they probably do. I don't know off the top of my head. Let's look. Let's see, guidance. No, so she can cast guidance. That works out right. What else does she have? Mending and Starry Wisp. Starting to mix in some of the new stuff in the game. Yeah, let's do Starry Wisp. Verbal Somatic. And Mending. I think Mending, in fact, does have a material component. Yeah. So I can't use Mending, but I can use Guidance, which is super helpful. And I can use Starry Wisp, which I probably want to keep that up because that is definitely a spell I do not have memorized. Alright, let's jump into it. Okay, so we've got everybody together. We're going to do back. So our primary plan is to get from the dilapidated Temple Scriptorium, which is where we are. We now have this big cast we're carrying around too. So I think that's going to be Jurgen's duty, is carrying around that big cast. So she's already kind of in the back and not the greatest fighter in the world. So she's going to be carrying that for right now. And we are going to make our way back to the command room. So, are we being stealthy about it? Do we want to get out of here stealthily or fast? I lean towards fast. I think it would be good for us to get out of here quickly, but there's more likely we'll have fights, which is bad for us. And then we already have it set up that the gnolls also have those giant hyenas that sometimes they ride, and so in the open desert we cannot outrun that. So that would probably kill us. So stealthy it is. So stealthy it is. All right, does something happen to us? Do we come across anything on the hallway back? Probably not. Oh, we do find something. Oh no, I don't have my thing out. Let me get my DM binder. Oh. It was in front of me the whole time. Okay, yeah, so let's just give ourselves some dungeon dressing. I don't think it's going to be really important, but let's see if we get anything fun. It'll be useful for us. 8 and 20. That would be bad. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here, let me roll a d10. Ooh, 10. That's the very last one. So this is this giant statue of like a skeletal sort of death god figure, to whose allegiance we don't know, or maybe who it is, or probably don't spend the time to care. But really, sort of like as we're winding back through the hallway, is that if we interact with this incorrectly, it's going to fall, and if it falls, it's going to make a bunch of noise. And that's bad for us. So I don't think this is a stealth check. I'm going to make it an acrobatics check, because it's more about like balance and dexterity from getting around it. Alright, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who have to make this check. So let's find a DC. Okay, so 13, not too bad. And then 13 times 5 is 65. So we need to roll a 65 acrobatics between 5 characters. It's not too big of a sell. It's not terrible. I am going to let Jurgen give everybody guidance now that we have somebody in the party who can cast guidance. I think that she definitely kind of muscles her way in the front. It's like, if it's a delicate situation, I can help. I have a soothing, calming effect on helping people work through things together. I think Leah's like, all right, I don't know what that means, because I don't think Leah's familiar with probably the guidance spell, because she's not a super well, like, historically trained from birth kind of wizard. Like, okay. All right, so we got to make some checks. Who's going to make that check first? We might as well go down the line. So Leah, so D20 plus a D4. All right, that's 11 plus her acrobatics, which is plus 2. So I mean, she got the 13. I'm just gonna add this here. We'll add that here. So 13. Because we don't really need to know the total. All right, so that was technically a fail. Oh no, that was right on the money, wasn't it? Yeah. So let's keep that going. It's not great. It's for Imbar, but we're starting at 13 already. She's not trained in acrobatics. 13, 14, 15. So another 15, so that's better. That's 28. Alright, let's do it. So this time it is for Ott. Hopefully the person that should do better at this. And of course she'll roll the word. I mean, she's big. It makes sense that it's hard for her to get around in sort of like a tight underground passage. So this tracks. It's not a great roll. I wish it was higher, but it tracks at least. At least it makes sense. Alright, so she is trained in acrobatics. She has a +5 to it. So, you know, she makes it. Right, 7 plus 5. No, she doesn't. 7 plus 5 is 12. Man, math is not my strong suit today. Alright, so we're just one behind, though. Unfortunately, it was our most dexterous person, the person we really wanted to get high. But, alright. Alright, now we're going to go Delg, who I think it's just flat. I don't think he has any bonuses to anything. Of course, he rolls fantastic. He has a 22. So, yeah. He gets what he gets on the die. Delga tumbles through the passage, even does his dwarf knowledge helps him. And that takes us, as we see on the total there, 61. Alright, so, Jurgen has a fat 0 to it. But she only needs to roll a 4, so we're in good hands thanks to Delg. So, don't roll a 1, basically. Okay, good. We get through it, but barely. Alright, so we're able to sort of get around this sort of tilting, almost collapsed statue, and it does not fall over. Though Ott gets very close to it. I think Ott does the thing where it, like, shifts while she's under it, and she's like, ah! and they are able to escape that, and they make it to the operating theater. Is there anybody in the operating theater at this point? No? Okay, so we're good. So we've made it through, we backtracked one way. Can we remember how to get out of here? I'm gonna give us a survival check. The DC is gonna be super low on it though. Yeah. The DC is gonna be, I think, like 8. Like, they were just here. It shouldn't be difficult. And she has guidance and advantage because everybody's doing it at the same time. So really shouldn't fail this at all. Yeah, it's already 16 on the die, plus her survival, which is good. Yes. Alright, so we know they bust into the operating theater, they see the dead bodies everywhere, they've taken all this stuff in here. They kind of look around, listen. They're not really hearing anything. Dev's holding up the lantern for Imbar. They're kind of looking around. Everything seems quiet. They clock the door that they need to go through, and they exit out that door, and find their way back to sort of the passage that goes downwards to sort of hatch that kind of goes from the street level where they are when they bust out of the operating theater, and goes back down into sort of the under levels, so that the undercity research areas. And they do that, and they jump down there, and they're running along, and they're going to come to an intersection. Does anything bad happen to us? No, not so far. I guess we probably should make... should we make stealth checks? Nah, I feel like our stealth checks are alright. Nobody's particularly bad in it, because nobody's wearing... Jurgen has a breastplate, but that actually is one of the armors that does not give you disadvantage to stealth. So, Ott's leading this. I don't really think that there's a reason. She's expertise in survival and stealth, so they're... What, that's plus, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 7 and 5, so respectively. So, yeah, I think she's got it covered. I don't think I'm going to roll for them. I think that she's competent in doing this sort of thing. So, they're going to keep heading forward. Now, we haven't seen the sun in about a day, so it's going to be real interesting when we get out there. Or, we just got out there and we was like, ow. So we're heading back underground into the Underfound. We come across an intersection. Now I'm going to... At the intersection, I'll give her the survival check. But, again, basically no way to fail this at this point. That's in the 20-somethings. Yeah, that's a DC 11. She's like, yes, it's this way. If we turn and go that way, do we run into anything as we're heading back towards the Underfountain? No. So we run across into the Underfountain. The Underfountain is just, remember, just filled with bodies. We've had 2, 3 fights in this room. There are a bunch of dead bodies in here. We kind of jump in there. We have our light. And actually, probably snuff the light at that point, because remember that the Underfountain actually has an opening in the ceiling where light comes in. And they use that rope to rappel down into. A rope which I believe is still there. I believe we moved the rope, so we could actually probably get out that way to the street level. But it might be better to go back through the gymnasium. I don't know. Do they hear anything? Do they perceive anything while they're here? Again, they have... it's a whole group of people trying to do this, so 20-something for the DC. Alright, so we definitely... If there's anything to hear, we hear it. Do we hear anything? No, not at all. Silent. Absolutely silent. Almost unsettlingly silent. Especially in a room that's filled with a bunch of dead bodies. They look around. And does that make them want to go to the street level? Oh, before we do that, here's a good question, because we are in a place where we can see outside. Is it daytime? I have no idea what time it is. No, it's not daytime. So it's definitely nighttime. So we're seeing sort of like moon glow that's coming in through the... Well, here's the question. Is that moon glow or is it torchlight? Moon glow is high. Okay, moon glow. So no torchlight. So just moon glow. So maybe the streets are deserted, though most monsters are pretty nocturnal. So it would probably be more dangerous on the streets. Or at least more likely that we'll get spotted. And especially if we're running around with a lantern. Alright, I think that sets it for me that we need to go the underground route. So we're going to go back towards the gymnasium. We're going to shuffle. Did we come across anything? Nope, not this time. Back into the gymnasium. Gymnasium is pretty dangerous. It's kind of falling apart, but is there anything in there? No. Alright, so we make it back to the gymnasium. Alright, all things went swimmingly, because this is basically the exit of the dungeon for us. So there is sort of a hazardous challenge in this room, if I remember correctly. Let me go back down. I believe there's a... yeah, the crumbling gymnasium. Yeah, so we found the open passage to the underground. We kind of crashed into that. Yeah, I mean, technically, I already broke all this, but I bet that it's actually difficult to get out of. So yeah, I'm gonna hack them, because I don't want to get completely out of here scot-free. That feels like too much luck, and that feels like if I don't feed the beast that is fate, then and pay my homage, pay my tithe, if you will, then it, you know, bite me in the butt later. So let's go ahead and DC 20. I take athletics or acrobatics. They already know that this room is kind of crumbling down around them, so I know that they're already being careful about it. So does that mean I think they'll use ropes and things like that to find a way to get out here. I think that's going to be dependent on whoever climbs up first. Who's our best climber? And well, it's certainly not Leah. I don't know why I opened Leah's sheet. I think Imbar and Odd have very similar stats. She's trained in acrobatics and athletics, so it's going to be Odd, because she's trained in both. Yeah, so she'll grab a rope, even though she is probably the heaviest member. Well, Imbar might be the heaviest. Is probably the heaviest member of our party. Second heaviest. And she's going to, tie one piece of the rope around her, probably ankle or something like that, and start climbing her way up out of this crumbled floor back up to ground level so that they can make their way out. So it's going to be straightforward. It's going to be, I said it could be athletics or acrobatics, so I'll let her take the better of those, which is acrobatics by 1. So she has a +5. What's our DC for the room? I know I'm rolling it. I know it's 20. So we know that this is a doom thing. It's not that they're not going to get out. It's that she's definitely going to take damage for it. I say that, but she rolled at 21, and the DC is 20. So she scrambles and jumps up there, and she nickers and yips as she does it. As the big knoll pulls herself out of this hole and finds a secure place to put the rope on, and allows everybody else to climb out. Everybody else has to make the same check, but they're going to do it at advantage with guidance. Why not? Because the DC is so high and their stats are awful. And if not, they're going to take some damage. So that's how it's going to go. Alright, so who's up first? Let's just do Leah. Oh, joy. Yep, man. There's no way that she's got a +10. So she'll take damage. That's fine. Imbar. Better. Yeah. She's going to get out just fine. Ott's already out. Delg. I don't know why I'm rolling him that way. Already at a 19. I don't think he has any bonus, though. he almost makes it out. Let's double check, but I don't think he has. Yeah, he's not trained in either one. So Delg failed as well. Alright. And then we have Jurgen last. Oh, Jurgen, I believe, will also be taking some damage. There's no way Jurgen has a +6. Alright, so we have 3 members of our party that take some damage. We're just going to say that it is, we are 4th level, so it's 4d6 + 4. Oh, I forgot that I had the pluses on, and then I looked at the total, and I was like, 51, that can't be right. No, we're back to 0. There we go. Alright, so they're going to take 17 points of damage. Ow. So, Leah's down to 3 hit points. Delightful. She gets torn up on some of the rotted wood as it collapses down upon her. Imbar, of course, did fine. Ott did fine. The people with the hit points did fine. Delg's KO'd. That sounds about right for Delg. Which is a real problem, because we don't really have anything, and we said that she does not... The Jurgen does not have access to her spells right now, because she has not had a long rest and prayed for them. Nor does she has a spellcasting focus. Do we have a potion? I don't think so. I think we're out of potions. But Delg is for sure KO'd. I'm not that worried about us making death saves for him. We're not in any danger. People can grab him and stabilize him. That's not going to be an issue. That will take some time, though, so we'll have to roll for a random encounter. But we're not going to stop for a short rest. But I don't think we have anything that will get him up right now. You know, because that's the healer that went down. So that's helpful. So... well, hopefully this pound of flesh I'm giving to fate will reward me later. Dice, please reward me. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna take some time though, and if we take some time, it means we gotta roll for a random encounter. So we do that. We get Delg sort of situated up. Somebody's gonna have to carry Delg. That's probably gonna be up. Sort of takes the unconscious dwarf and fireman style over the shoulder. And I think they creep out. Now, they do have to make it past some patrols. It is the nighttime. They should be more active. So let's make it like a little skill challenge, I think. I think we're going to do like I don't know, do skill challenge or do effort. I guess we could do effort again. Did just put up a video about it. No, because this isn't that sort of thing. It's definitely a fail state. Rather than you do get through it. So let's. Who's going to lead the charge on this? I mean, it makes sense that it is Ott, but Ott I don't think has advantage anymore now that she has to carry around an unconscious dwarf. So maybe she hands him off to Imbar to carry. It makes sense that she's going to be like the leader. So let's just go with sort of like a passive, what would be a passive stealth maybe, and I'll make some active perception checks against it. Maybe that makes more sense. Because then yeah, that sounds fun. Because she has 3 plus 7 in stealth. So 17. I'm giving them advantage because they're trying to track like 5 different people, or 4 different people, because one's unconscious. So they're gonna have advantage. We gotta make it through 3 checks, otherwise they're gonna get spotted by one of the roaming patrols around the Oasis. Come on, high numbers. Come on, high numbers. Kill my PCs. Kill them! Really? 2 natural ones? Bad guys, you are not doing your job. Alright, come on. Okay. Yeah, our pound of flesh worked off. They got nowhere close to a DC 17. Nowhere close to it. Yeah, Ott has no problem shifting between patrols in the sands of goblins and gnolls and orcs. And their giant hyena pets and goblin dogs, and what the orcs have with them, maybe wargs or something like that. Anyways, we pass through that, we make it on our way out, and we're gonna head back, which means that for the first time in like 5 or 6 sessions, we're gonna jump back to the actual hex crawling map for shit, which is going to, like it's been a while since we've looked at that. So let's go ahead and bam. There we go. So, we're up here at, called the Goblin Base. I'm going to rename that, though, actually. I'm going to rename that to, Ruined Oasis. And then, under the secret notes, I'll do Arcane Research Facility, Legend about an apprentice magic user corrupted seeking knowledge and turned into a Nothic. Now, we didn't come across any Nothics, but we did come across a psychic vampire, so maybe that is what they were talking about. I don't know. Rumors are not always 100%. Because those both have strong psychic powers. And both kind of live forever, and both are kind of weird monsters. But this is a foreign faction. Let's see. Faction-backed Confederacy of Goblins. Goblins. Gnolls. And orcs. Alright, perfect. So that's where we are. We jump out. I'm gonna go ahead and give us. We gotta make it across the open desert at least here. We gotta get to at least to the Good Fortune Shrine. The thing is that I think I'm just gonna have to make straight Constitution saving throws straight forward, because I don't know where we start in the day as far as sort of how much energy they've expended. So they're just gonna do straight. Basically, they'll be able to get there, but we'll figure out whether they have whether they're gonna have exhaustion when they get there or not. So let's roll their. Let's find out what the DC is, because we're just making a random DC. All right, 14. DC 14. We're gonna let Leah do this. We do not have the mule with us, so no advantage. Oh god. So we do not get that. Leah definitely has exhaustion. I guess I should roll for everybody. I'm pretty sure Imbar has exhaustion. Ott's fine. Of course Ott's fine. Delg's unconscious. He doesn't need to roll. And Jurgen... Jurgen's probably also exhausted. Alright, so we make it into... We make it across the... About hour's walk or so out of the sands into sort of the hills abutting it that kind of... And you see this explosion of more... tropical, subtropical foliage as we sort of move into it, move up into the hills that sort of are sort of like the rim of this desert, the sort of plateau into it. And we climb up into there and with an incredible amount of exhaustion. We do have to see, because we are traveling, do we come across anything? No, thank you. So we make it to the dolmen. And I'm going to use the old exhaustion rules because they work a lot better for this. So not the new exhaustion rules, where you just get -1s to checks. This is the old exhaustion rule. So everybody has disadvantage on checks. Or not everybody, but most people have disadvantage on checks. So that's where we are. And it would be really nice. We'd really like to get back to the swamp hermit. Do we want to push for that? Because we're in a real bad spot if we get 2 levels of exhaustion. But we're also really close. We're really close to a dungeon we just went through. So I'm not really sure. I think we should camp here. Having 2 levels of exhaustion is really bad. Because the second level gives us... What is it again? I think it's attacks, right? No, our speed is halved, which is very bad for us doing overland travel. So we are going to, instead, we're going to try to take a long rest here, since it is nighttime. So we snuggle up under that Good Fortune Dolmen Shrine. We've come across gnolls here before, but they just talked to us, and they were not part of the ruined Oasis camp. So we're going to take our long rest. We're going to see if anybody comes up to attack us. I feel like I have to roll at disadvantage because we are so close to the base, and we have definitely alerted a lot of people there in the past 24 hours or so. So, yeah, let's roll at disadvantage for our D12. Okay, that is that's good. Should we roll more than 1? I think we gotta roll at least 2. Okay. I feel 2 suffices. So 2. Overnight. No troubles. We do have people on watch and stuff. Do we hear anything? Do we perception check? Do we hear anything? Nope. Everybody's exhausted. even the people who are not mechanically exhausted are exhausted and hurt, and everybody passes out. The night goes through, everybody wakes up, everybody is back to full hit points. They do get half their hit dies back, or half their level and hit die. So we're doing better. We're gonna go back to 39, and they're gonna get 2 back as well. Ott. Gonna get 2 back. And they'll get 2 back. And Jurgen will get 2 back. So, it's the end of the day. We finish a long rest. Jurgen is able to pray and get their first level spells. Still does not have a arcane focus or components pouch, which is an issue. Do we want to, well, we got to go back to, we have to go to the hermit's house because we need to pick up Drin's brother, half-brother, and our mule, and get the heck out of here. So let's do that. Oh, there is also maybe that goblin still there. Well, we'll have to find out that goblin that we sent running, if they're still here. That'd be interesting. Be an interesting encounter. Yeah. So we've rested up. We're doing good. Oh, we are hex crawling. You can tell it's been a little bit since I've done it because I need to go to the hex crawl operations. Ha 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 ha. So she needs to make a Constitution saving throw. She does not have her mule with her right now, so oh god. Okie doke. Leah is still totally exhausted. It is unlikely that she will make it any more this day than into the next hex. So everybody's still really dragging butt, which makes sense. Everybody's exhausted. So we're gonna make our move into the. We also need to check rations. Before I forget about it. I think Leah's the only one that. Yeah. All right. So Leah, let's roll a d6 because we had to use some rations because we can't. Okay, we're good. We did not roll a 1, which is all we care about. We're gonna move on, which means that we're moving, so we're expending energy. 3 of our 4, so we could technically go 1 more, but why would we when we could just stay at the swamp hermits? And then, do we come across anything? No. Alright. So we spend 3 of our 4. Which is great. Super good. I love not moving anywhere. Everybody's so tired, though, after delving that dungeon. We fought how many battles? That's a lot of fights in, like, probably under 48 hours. I probably had, what, 7 fights? Combats? Eesh, that's a lot. Probably exhausted. Yeah. Oh, Leah also gets all her stuff back. We need a. I believe the magic missile one recharges 1d6. 1d6? 1d6 plus 1. 1d6 plus. No, actually, it's 1d4 plus 1. I'll take that. 5 charges? Sure. That's going to be all of them. Her Wand of Web is fully recharged. Her spells are recharged. And other stuff that I already forgot to do. And feed looks good. Actually, we'll have to check out the feed. Alright, so we rush back. We rush to the Swamp Hermit's place. We have sort of a good rapport with them as we sort of roll up during the day and sort of wave out. Do we see anybody when we get there? Yes. Okay, Oracle question. Is it the Swamp Hermit? No, not at all. Oh. No. And that's bad for us. So that's no, and I do think that I'm gonna throw, since we rolled so poorly. I'm gonna throw... Where is it? It wants to have a little hindrance. A little D10 hindrance because we rolled so poorly. So it's definitely not him, and it's even worse. Oh, we need to trade a resource to gain edge, or more importantly, avoid a hindrance. So something that we could... run across... Oh! Ooh. Okay, so here's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining that we walk up there and we hear like a commotion, and we go into the hut, and I'm thinking that that goblin that we sent this way is actually holding a dagger to the hermit, and demanding that you know, we give them money and let them go. Like they freaked out when we started approaching. I think that's it. And so we have a point here where we need to give them a resource, which I don't know. Maybe he just wants food, honestly. Food, and it should... I think we left it with his weapons. We didn't take its goblin weapons. I mean, it's obviously got a dagger on the hermit, but we didn't take him anything, so... We definitely don't have any clothes or armor that would fit a goblin. So I guess, I guess rations makes the most sense, so we can pay them in rations. Like they're looking for rations and supplies, like normal adventuring supplies kind of stuff. So and then they say they're gonna leave. So it's instant negotiation. We could try to attack the goblin. The goblin could kill that person though. How does everybody feel? I'm more concerned. I want to know what Jurgen's gonna do. Because Jurgen is the one who is ostensibly potentially been tortured by these creatures. So let's just ask an oracle question, or maybe not a wisdom saving throw because she's very good at those. I don't necessarily want it. Sure, it's a wisdom saving throw. Why not? DC 16 to keep her shit together. She does not keep her shit together. All right, so she's going to do something to that goblin. We don't know what it is. So which one of them? I'm going to give them, I guess, initiative roll-offs. Or her initiative roll-off. If she gets higher than the goblin, then she'll get the drop on the goblin. Ooh. That is not a drop on the goblin. That is the opposite of a drop on the goblin. That's the goblin getting a drop on you. Now, a classic hostage scenario is that the goblin loses all leverage if they kill the person. So they don't necessarily want to kill the hostage, but they do, like, if you make a move, they're going to cut him real bad. Is that what happens? Does he just cut him real bad? Yeah, I'm not even going to roll for that. Yeah, that's what he does. The question is does he cut him bad enough, like a lethal cut? The goblin's freaked out. But the goblin is also not trying to do that specifically. It's a tense moment. I think it's, you know, I have to oracle my oracle question. Because I have no idea if it's going to be 50-50 or not. Does 50-50 sound right? As odds? No. Okay. So, then I'm going to err on the side of people not dying. And, give them +3. Alright, I guess I'm going to make it a -3 because I want the question to be, does he accidentally kill him? No. No. Not even close to it. But, Jurgen sort of, like, grips her spear and, like, starts to take a step forward. And the goblin, like, ah! And, like cuts him under the throat. Back, back, back! God. Little monster. Alright, so that made things worse for us. Well, you could try to pop him with the wand of web real quick. Or just absolutely unload with him with a magic missile. You try to do that. We do like this guy. We could just pay the rations, though. Maybe they want more now. They probably want our mule. The mule we're definitely not going to give them. Do they demand more? Let's ask that. Do they demand more now that we've done that? Yep. Do they demand the mule? Probably. No, they don't demand the mule. I guess that makes sense. Goblins don't really like horses and dogs and larger animals. Probably wants our, like, medical supplies and stuff. That's probably what it wants. That we're not going to part with. I think Leah hardens for action and is going to do something. I'm going to give her like a charisma, like a persuasion check. It doesn't matter. Some charisma skill, some mixture of intimidate, persuasion, and deception to be like, I'm not about to do something to the goblin, but definitely showcase to her compatriots that, like, hey, I'm about to act, so get ready. That negotiations have sort of broken down. And so let's give her that charisma check to see if she gets it. Now, she does have a natural +2. Is the DC 9? Probably not. Nope, sure isn't. It's DC 15. Alright, so nobody knows what's happening. Leah just goes. And we're gonna roll initiative, and wherever she ends up in the initiative is where she ends up. So she's not really gonna get surprised, because everybody's kind of looking at everybody. So, alright. Well, here we go again. Yeah, she's just gonna pull out that magic missiles wand and try to annihilate this guy real quick. That's pretty much her plan. Annihilate this goblin. Alright, let's get some rolls. Nope, under. Alright, so we got probably Imbar, Goblin. I'm gonna put Hermit's gonna be at the bottom for sure. And this is going to be Leah, so she's kind of in the middle of the pack already because she didn't roll very well. Ott's low. Doug's low. Jurgen's gonna get her own turn, though. So, Delg. Yeah, and we need one for Jurgen. To see where she's gonna jump in and do it. 15. Okay, so Jurgen's gonna go high. That's excellent. I can't remember if she's above or... Just put her here. She'll just go there. It'll be fine. Okay, so don't need to be here anymore. Who am I missing? Oh, Delg. Delg and Odd. Gosh. So Delg. Leah, not rolled a... Yeah, I think technically she's higher than Leah with her bonus. Okay, so Leah's actually at the bottom of the initiative when she tries to make a move. For whatever reason. Does the Imbar do anything? I think it's extremely unlikely that Imbar does anything. So -5. Nope. She's holding. Who's next? Jurgen with a -5. Nope. Does the Goblin do anything? Nope. She's gonna going down the list. Delg. No. Ott. Yeah, no, Ott's gonna do something. That sounds right. Things get tense. Ott's not really a talking things out kind of person, as we found out when she promptly shot the man who was yelling at her in a language she didn't understand in the chest with an arrow. It's not really her strong suit. So we're actually going to start this combat down at Ott. And Ott, I think Ott probably rushes the goblin, because we need to get him away from the hermit. Yeah, I'll make her attacks like a come in. She's going to... I'd say grapple, but that's not technically how mechanically grapple works in 5e. It just stops your movement, which is not helpful. It doesn't actually stop them from doing anything. So I guess she'll at least try to, like, knock it to the floor? Knock it to the ground? Yeah, that's gonna be 17. Yeah, I think we're gonna make a strength check for him. He's gonna. So, rushes over and, like probably just cold cocks the goblin, like, throws him down on the floor and tries to keep them on the ground. She does have. She has offhand weapons, right? No, she just has a spear. Is a bite considered an offhand weapon? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think it technically has the light property, so no. But she does just straight have multi-attack. So, yeah. Sure, she'll try to bite him. Nope, that doesn't work. Her teeth sort of like scrape against sort of like the hard dirt that's the floor of this hut. She sort of holds down this goblin who's got a dagger. Alright, well that's odd. It's Leah's turn. Leah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, like I said, that was her plan. She's gonna stick with the plan. She doesn't have to worry about Ott being in the way. She is just going to... She can dump almost the whole thing. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, because she wants it dead. So that's 8 magic missiles, right? 1, 2, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So she's going to use 8 magic missiles. Right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, one more. Sorry. So she's gonna do 8, and I know technically it's only supposed to be 1d4, but it's fun to roll a whole bunch of d4s. All right, 32 points of damage. Now, here's a question: does a goblin have 32 hit points of damage? I'm pretty sure they don't, but I'll double check just in case. They have 7 hit points. Though I guess you might even say that this goblin was potentially like upcast. Like might be a tougher one. But even that goblin gang member has 10 hit points. What is the... 21. Yeah, she absolutely nukes this thing into oblivion. Unless this goblin didn't level up that much in between when we saw them and now. So yeah, then there's a flurry of like this chartreuse green that just flashbangs this entire room as 8 streaks of magical force energy just smash into this body, reducing it like mechanically through concussive force into like sort of a gross pace. It kind of looks like he fell from a very high place, and that goblin is dead. Is very dead. And she moves over to the hermit. Are you all right? Yes, I think I'm okay. He walks over and like starts working and gets like a cloth to press against his wound and starts like, oh, I could we're gonna pull this, I guess. Hard. Del kind of, I'll take care of it. I know what to do. Since Del's awake now. And they tend to the hermit, and I think Leah, as it's happening, starts apologizing. Just like, I'm so sorry. We thought, we talked with this goblin. We thought that they were going to be sympathetic, that you would be able to help them, and I'm sorry. I apologize for inviting danger to you. Yeah, persuasion check. We already have a good relationship with him, so I'm gonna give her advantage. It doesn't matter. That's a 3 on both dice. He is not particularly happy with them, for sure. So probably we went from being quite friendly down more to a little bit more transactional. Like, being associated with these people actually puts my life in danger, so maybe I'm not going to be super friendly with them. I don't want them thinking that we're bosom buddies. We're not. So we go back, and we start to have this conversation again. Then they fix him up. Probably not going to stay here anymore. And, oh, right. Drin's half-brother is also supposed to be here. Is Drin's half-brother here? No. Yeah, I think after the commission calls out, they literally ask her, oh, where is, I call him Drin's half-brother because I don't remember what their name is. I don't know if we even gave them a name. Are they still here? I think that's likely. I don't think they wandered off anywhere, so +3. Yes, they're here. Did he ask him to go, like, forage for something? Or he's doing some sort of, like, housekeeping task? No. So he must be off on his own. If he hasn't been said. He probably tells him that, like, oh, well, sometimes he walks the swamp to clear his head, or think, or whatever motivates a man to do anything, I suppose. Ow. Hurt. Stop. And Delg's sort of like, sorry. Working, trying to sort of stitch him up plainly after cleaning it. Well, again, we apologize for everything. We'll collect our stuff. We'll get our mule and things, and we can be out of your hair. So I'm gonna give her another charisma check. I get still with advantage because it's very plain that she's still at, like, constitution-wise, stamina-wise, she's at 75% of giving her everything that she's got. So she looks like still getting close to the verge of exhaustion, and she's being polite enough to not be like, I'm not going to intrude here because I've done a bad thing here. I've apologized, and I'm getting a cool response, so I'm going to gather my party and leave, even though that's definitely worse for us. Does that warm the cockles of his heart? With a 17. What did we say the DC was earlier? Something like that. Oh, yeah. We definitely get to him. That's a very low DC. That's a 7 DC. We did it by 10. No, of course, please, stay here. You can wait for Drin's half-brother to return, and you're free to stay here for the night and then be off in the morning. You look very tired. I'm sure you have a harrowing adventure at your heels. I thank you, of course, for saving my life. Even though I understand you feel responsible for it, and I'm not gonna lie, I do too. But of course, you can stay here. Stay here this night. This is a relatively safe place, and you can tell me what has happened, so that way I may protect myself from what might be happening out in the sands in the future. Being so close to such a large encampment. Yes. All right. So everybody kind of agrees, and they kind of settle in for the remainder of the day. Which the way that you can roll, the way that I sort of do the wilderness exploration, is because it's based by effort. You can be very loosey-goosey with time. You could be like, oh, it actually took you most of the day to get here. Right? It took us 75% of the day to get here. Or you can just be like, the travel to get here was just so exhausting, even though it did not take us a full day. It might have only taken us an hour or two to get here. But that entire experience was like cutting your way through dense jungle and things like that. That's just very hard manual labor that just wears you out, especially when you're carrying around like a bunch of gear and you're sweating under armor and stuff like that. So that's the way that I kind of play it. So time can be very loosey-goosey. So I'm thinking that it's definitely still daytime while they're here. They haven't gone most of the day. It's probably closer to about noon. Probably now that they've been here and talked for a little bit. So I think he just says, no, take the rest of the day, of course. Stay here. Uh, and I think our friends sort of come back. We see Drin's half-brother come back with the Yeth Hound that's got the old man face on it. And they from their walkabout in the swamp, this little pocket swamp in between the mountains. Come back, everybody meets everybody and says hi again. Do you do anything? Is there anything that we need to do while we're in camp? I don't think so. We still have a ways to go. We got to get back to Relendart, and he's way down here. So we've got a few good days, certainly a few good days to travel on our heels. But we are going to spend the rest of the day here, which I think calls for... I was going to say 2, but let's say 1d4 trouble rolls to see if anything comes up. 3. Okay, so 3. I don't think these are at a disadvantage because we've put space in between us and the bad guys at this point. Maybe I'll do the first one. I'll do the first one at disadvantage, and then everyone after that will be safe. Okay, so first one's good. 2 and 3. Uh-oh. So something shows up while we're there. And that's the middle of the day, so it's getting towards probably... It's probably nighttime. It's probably after the sun's going down. Nocturnal things are starting to... Crepuscular things are going away, and nocturnal things are starting to come out as the last airs of twilight start to fall upon the hot, muggy mist of the swamp. Though it's in the mountains, so it's quickly starting to cool off, and we're going to see that mugginess is probably going to turn back into sort of mist or fog as it condenses a little bit. So what are we going to... So who's going to show up? It could be somebody from the encampment. Is it going to be somebody from the encampment? Yes. Alright, so we have 4 different factions. Start with foreign faction. I guess we'll just do alphabetical order. That makes the most sense. Foreign faction. So some sort of humanoid foreign faction people show up. Kind of crawling their way through it. Now, we don't know that these are bad people from the camp. They could be traders, they could be anybody. See coming through there, and I think, who's going to be on watch? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Leah's always awake. So Leah will just give one of these other guys advantage. Or we'll use Leah, but she'll get advantage from somebody else. That makes sense. So it doesn't really matter who's awake with her. It might even be the hermit. Or Drin's half-brother. But they're sort of holding watch, so she's kind of outside on sort of like the porch area of this, what would be a porch for this hut. Swamp hovel. Kind of staring off into the darkness. And they've drawn the shutters and everything, so there's not a lot of light coming out from in there, but there's probably a little bit of smoke from a fire going. But who knows, who can see that at night. And she's going to hopefully spy some people coming up. So we're going to, let's give her check with advantage. Okay, that's 15. She has -1 wisdom, but she is trained in perception. Oh no. Wait, we did not make that. That's a 21 DC. We did not make that. Things are probably not going to go great for us. Alright, who is sneaking up on us? Now, we've got a number of combatants now. We have 5, technically, combatants now. 5 level 4 combatants. So we need some humanoids. And we're pretty sure we know why they're here. There are 5 of us. We are level 4. We want a hard encounter. Let's generate an encounter. Alright, we could do bandits. I don't really want to do bandits, though. Let's get something good. Could throw an apprentice wizard in there. That'd be good. Yeah, let's do like an apprentice wizard. So Here's a question: is this like an adventuring party, like a rivalry kind of thing? Like they have a yes? Oh, absolutely! It's absolutely that. Great, fantastic. That makes this easier and harder at the same time. All right, so we've got a wizard with us. We've got an acolyte with us. Gonna have to have some fighty people. Don't really. Should be a scout in here somewhere. Right, scout's pretty high up though. And I mean, we've got a gnoll with us. Technically we have a gnoll hunter with us. All right, so that covers Leah and Ott and no, I guess Imbar. There should be some sort of like. One of them's just like a basic dude. That's pretty much Delg. So I'm gonna use a bandit, which is barely better than that. So this feels right. And then we're gonna need some sort of fighty person. Let me throw the scout in there. I'm gonna use the scout instead of the gnoll hunter. Somebody who's better than a thug, I think. Even though this is still very much a trivial encounter, which is very funny to me. Yeah, I think just a bandit captain. How about a berserker? That sounds fun. Alright, so that's who we're going up against. I know that I didn't really do the normal thing I do, but I thought this would be kind of fun to do a kind of a straight up 5-on-5, you know, team versus team kind of thing. Just kind of change it up. So they sort of sneak up at probably the scout that sneaks up during the middle of the night. And is going to come after us. So yeah, so the scout certainly is the first person who approaches, I would think. And we're just going to kind of go, I guess we'll just kind of go into initiative. Let me get these guys set up. So Scout has a 16 hit points. Alright, so we gotta go back into our combat tracker. Let's change up things a little bit. There we go. Alright. Let's do it. Imbar, you're good. The Scout, and they had how much? 16. So they have 16 hit points. And then we have a bandit. Circuit. No, we don't have a bandit, right? Acolyte. Knight. And this wizard. So that's sort of who we've got. These guys are starting off with their initiative at 12. I'm going to take their, basically take 10, take their passive initiative and roll against that for our good guys. Alright, Imbar. Nope, not going to make it. That will make it. Alright. So Jurgen's up here, Imbar's down here. What did Imbar actually get? Imbar's going to have a 10. Oh. Alright, let's do Delganot. Okay, Ott's definitely going to go first. Interesting. And then we'll have Delg unfortunately doesn't have any bonus, but he will go before Imbar. Ott will be going first. Hermit is not going to be a combatant, nor is Dren's brother. So we just need to figure out Leah's position in it all. Come on, Leah. Alright, well that's not great. That's not great. She has a +2, I believe. So that's 11. That puts her right up with Delg. She'll go before Delg. Alright, so that's sort of the situation. Now these guys are going to crawl up. They got their We did not pass our perception check, so everybody's snoozing. Who else is awake? We've got 4 people. Who else is awake with us? Because Leah's definitely awake. Imbar. Okay, so Imbar's awake, but not paying attention, apparently. Maybe she's kind of dozing slightly. These guys are going to come in. Who's going to... I'm trying to think of... So what is their... I think that their overall goal is that they're going to try to... Yeah, I guess that's going to be a question for us. Is like, are they trying to just grab Leah? No. Okay. So this is going to be... Are they just going to kill us? No? Okay, so they're going to try to maybe take us alive? Actually, are they even hostile? I assume so. If they're creeping through the night. Well, it's their first turn. I mean, let's just ask. Like, do they attack? No. So I think the shadow sort of like materializes out of the dark. And there's a couple. I think the bandit and the scout are both there, sort of with their weapons drawn back, or knife in hand, or whatever they have out, as they sort of materialize out of the darkness, like right next to them, and kind of look at them and go, "All right, weapons down." Are there more people in that? Are there more people in the hut? So they get the jump on them, and they're sort of like demanding a quick surrender. Well, that's what they do to sort of start off their turn. That brings us to the top initiative, because that was sort of their surprise. Ott is acting. Ott is inside, snoozing around, and then her little little ears like, I think she immediately, unfortunately, because people were sleeping, luckily Imbar was awake, so she has her armor on, but most other people do not have their armor on. Well, not any heavy armor. Light armor you can sleep in. So, Ott's fine. She grabs her stuff. And we did say it was shuttered, so she can't see outside, but she definitely does hear the people talking to the 2 outside, and she creeps up there. So she's creeping up there. Here's a question. If she opens the shutter, can she definitely attack somebody right there? No. Well, so she can't grab anybody, but can she shoot somebody? Yes, okay. So she kind of grabs her stuff and creeps over to the edge, and she puts her ear up to the shutter and is listening to the conversation. And then she's like, okay, I know there's a person right there. And she draws her weapon back and just kind of, with her shoulder, just slams open the shutters. Probably breaks the little, like, toggle or whatever's holding them closed, and that snaps. It's like a little apple wood, balsa wood, snaps and opens up, and she pop, and tries to fire 2 into whoever she can see. We know that there are 2 people out there. I'll just roll a d6. That'll be who she goes after. Alright, whoever's at the top, which I think is the scout. She pops up, and does she get advantage? I mean, it is kind of a surprise, but I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to give her advantage on it. So she'll just make 2 attacks. She didn't need it on the first one. On the second one, she has a plus... Oh, not Imbar. She has a +5. So that's an 11, which I'm pretty sure is not going to hit the scout. Yeah, the scout has an AC of 13. 3d3. They only have 16 hit points, though, and I did just crit on them. I'm perfectly happy with that. Alright, so we hit them once. We got a good crit on them. We have a longbow. That's 2d8. Alright, 6 plus 3. So 6 plus 3 is 9. So she takes 9 points of damage out of her... What was it, 13? 16. So she has 7 hit points left. It sort of busts it open. There's a scout there who's got their bow sort of like trained on them, on Leah and Imbar out there in the front, and then bam, I think just kind of like half cuts through her face with that crit. There's a bunch of blood all over the place. They start freaking out, and people are about to go live, about to go hot. So that is Ott. She ducks in cover, I think, she just ducks under where the shutter is. So she's going to have like full, like 3/4 cover. I'll just leave a little note for myself. She has 3/4 cover. Jurgen. Jurgen also awakes, and as this kerfluffle's going on, Jurgen is not in her, does not have her breastplate on. Because it's medium armor. So she is going to hop up, and she is going to point at, I guess yeah, she should be able to move to at least see the same scout. And she will use her Starry Wisp. And what does Starry Wisp do? Again, I have not memorized this one, because it's new. You launch a moment of light at one creature or object within range. 60 feet, yeah. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 radiant damage. Okay. And cast Dim Light. And can't... Oh, that's actually very good. Okay. So, it just has a d8 of damage, right? Yep. Alright, make a spell attack. And misses. And a Mode of Light flies out the door and, you know, does that weird thing where it, like, illuminates trees as it goes by and disappears off into the darkness 60 feet away. Well, that's that. Also tries to take cover and probably, like, flips over a table or something. So I'm also going to give them cover. So I'm just going to give them the same 3/4 cover. Jurgen sort of, like, flips a table and hides behind it. Scout's turn. Scout is looking right at Leah and Imbar. I think they make 2 attacks, right? So if they make 2 attacks, they'll just make a... where'd it go? There we go. So yeah, I think they make 2 attacks. They make multi-attack. So they're going to stay with their bow, and they're going to shoot 1 at Leah and 1 at Imbar. Both at +4. 1 at Leah. We'll miss the 1 at Imbar. What's her plus? +4. Does an 18 hit Imbar? I think so. No, I forgot. And she would have her shield with her. But would she have it out yet? They were just kind of sitting there. I don't know. Let's ask. Oracle roll. Does she have her shield on? Yeah. Alright, then it doesn't hit. Plings off their shield. And they shoot another one past Leah into the front of the hovel. That's Scout's turn. Scout is going to, I think, try to escape back into the shadows. So they're going to retreat into the woods. Here's a question. Do they break full line of sight? No. Okay. So they're only going to have, the Scouts going to have like half cover. As they sort of drift back into the woods. And it is the bandits' turn. Well, the bandits just watched their party member, float back into the woods, so they're probably going to do the same. Let's double check. Alright, the bandits. Oh, they have a light crossbow, so they'll use their light crossbow and they'll take a shot at either one of them, either at Leah. If it's low, it's Leah. If it's high, it's Imbar. That's high, it's Imbar. It's going to take a shot against Imbar. Does not hit Imbar. Their quarrel sort of bounces off the front of the wall, kind of skips across it, and then they also float back into the darkness of the woods. So they go, and they are fully hidden. They disappear like full line of sight. I'll just put in. No line of sight. This sort of slip in. And then out of the darkness comes a berserker, apparently. Now, they're still sitting. They have not gotten out of their chairs yet. That they were sitting, or log, or whatever they're sitting on the front of this hovel. Alright, let's see it. Let's see what this guy's gonna do. Alright, so it does have Reckless. It's going to charge. I guess who does it charge? Again, low is going to be Leah. Alright, it charges Leah. Yeah, they'll absolutely Reckless. It's somehow miss. They somehow miss the wizard who is sitting down. With advantage. Alright, whiffs it absolutely like, kind of like baseball swings, and she just kind of like ducks under it. And he sort of embeds his axe into the side of the house. That's it. That's all the Berserker could do. The Berserker's actually very straightforward sort of monster. Oh no, he gets multi-attack. No. I am looking at the wrong thing. Go! Get out of here. Yeah, no, they just get the one. They're super straightforward. Alright. Well, that's the Berserker, and we have, who's after that? The Acolyte. Alright, the Acolyte steps out of the gloom of the shadows, and I guess we'll try to Sacred Flame somebody, but so since nobody can get advantage from cover with Sacred Flame, they technically have 4 targets. Well, here's the question. Do they move closer to get 4 targets? Yes. Alright. So we'll just go down the line. Alright, that's not Leah, that's not Imbar, that is Ott. So they're shooting at Ott. And Ott has to make a dexterity saving throw. Which she fails. And takes 1d8 radiant damage. Huzzah! 4 points of radiant damage. For Ott. They have not finished their long rest, so they have not replaced their hit points yet. Which sucks. Alright. And our last one is we have our Apprentice Wizard. What's our Apprentice Wizard going to do? They use Intelligence, they have Mage Hand, Prestidigitation, so they have no useful cantrips. They probably have Mage Armor on themselves already. Disguise Self, Burning Hands. Does the Apprentice Wizard rush up to do Burning Hands? I think that's extremely unlikely. That would be a very bad play. Yeah, they don't do that. They hide in the shadows, I guess. They don't really have anything to do. This is not really an optimized for combat kind of thing. Oh no, I guess they can do this Arcane Burst thing. They'll do that. You got 2 people up front. Low will be Leah. Alright, shoots against Leah, and it's a +4. Yep. And the 10 is not going to hit Leah. Alright. Wow. These guys have been wildly ineffectual. Alright, that's sort of that's the end of all the bad guys. We've got out of that basically unscathed. Almost entirely. Leah says, okay, my turn. And she has the Berserker right in front of her. So what's she going to do with the Berserker? Let's just get a few different things down here. Chromatic Orb, Reese, Ice Knife, Mage Armor. She's already got Mage Armor on. Magic Weapon, Silvery Barbs. The Wand of Magic Missiles has not come back. What is a good thing she could kind of use? Yeah, I think she'll just do a 2nd level Magic Missile, get this guy right in front of her face. She sort of like grabs her staff that of course sort of lights up. It's that black ash staff now that lights up with sort of like glowing red veins through it. And she will turn and fire off 4 magic missiles at him. Because she doesn't have to worry about attack rolls when she's right next to him. So he'll take 11 points of damage. And how many hit points does this guy have? Probably more than 11. Got to. Yeah, he has a buttload of hit points. Alright, so he's down to 56 hit points. Great. It's just tough. Oh, Imbar's still gonna have advantage on him, which is good. Alright. That's the Berserker. That's Leah. I don't think Leah feels pretty confident that she doesn't need to move right now. She feels okay. I think Leah's doing alright. Hit point. Yeah, she can take a hit. She can take a couple of hits. This guy doesn't hit that hard. He's just a big sack of hit points, unfortunately. So, she's good where she is. She's not going to move. Because she doesn't have a disengage. She doesn't want to take an opportunity attack for sure. Even though she's still kind of out in the open. After her is, I believe, Imbar, right? No, Delg's first. Delg wakes up into... Delg should have more hit points now. Delg definitely would have spent his... I guess, at least one of his hit die. So he'd have 1 plus whatever we roll, I guess. He's going to need a D8, right? 6. Okay, so 6, 7, 8. So he should have 8 hit points. 1 from coming back unconscious. Alright, so that's what he does. Action Delg. Actions. And finds a place to hide and heals himself. Well, I don't know if I want to heal myself. I don't really want to roll on the healer kit just for me. Especially if we're going to get back those hit points in the long rest. He will sling instead. He can see the Berserker outside. I think it's probably the best person. The only person in range he can get to. Can he see the? Can he get to a place where he sees the Berserker? No, not really. Then he is going to also hide behind sort of that table where Jurgen is, and will ready a sling action for when somebody comes in range that he can actually attack. Sure, we'll do that. So Delg will also have 3/4 cover. And he has a ready sling action. That takes us down to Imbar. Imbar is going to jump up now and move around to flanking with Leah and take his... Not that she needs it. She's already going to have advantage anyways, but... she'll make a big ol' swing with her Moonblade. That's 11 plus... I'm pretty sure it's going to hit. 17 to hit, and against the Berserker. Yeah, 13 AC. Easy to hit. No problems. So is going to do that. Is going to do her extra 1d6 or extra 2d6 per turn with an adjacent ally. So that is going to be 1d8 plus 2d6 plus 2. So 1d8 plus 2d6 plus 2. It didn't roll super great. So that's 13 points of damage. She carves into the Berserker. Who's just running on sheer adrenaline. So even though we've hurt them quite a bit, in the grand scale of things, they have so much more to give, so much more love to give us, and they are going to. So Imbar does that. Ott's up. Ott can Ott see the Berserker? Question mark. No, can't see the Berserker, so he's going to turn around and scout who they can see and make 2 attacks on them. Ooh, does that 10 hit? That's 16 for her? 15. Does 15 hit? The 15 might not hit the scout. Let's double check. They have 13. Plus 2 from cover is still 15. They get hit with both. Nice. Great job. Great job. Alright, that's 2d8 plus 2 each, so 4. So 13 points of damage into the scout, which I think just straight up kills the scout. Just pop, pop, falls over. 1 might have killed them, but that's okay. I'm just not going to worry about that. Yeah, scout gets absolutely annihilated by Ott. Nobody can out-scout out Ott. Ott's too good with her bow. So she fires into the darkness through the trees and is able to sort of take out that scout. There's a wet splash as they sort of hit the shallow waters of the swamp. That brings us to, and she stays hidden in cover. Jurgen's in 3/4 cover. Doesn't really have a good line of sight, so we'll also hold an action to shoot off one of her one of her spells, one of her cantrip spell, whenever somebody comes out that she can see. And since it's the bandit who has no line of sight, and they're going to be sneaking around, I think. Who are they going to go after? Are they going to try, question mark, do they try to get into the hovel? No. Okay, so they're going to sneak up, and I guess Imbar's the person who has their back turned to sort of everything behind her, because she had to switch around to face Leah and the Berserker. So in front of her there is the sort of hovel, and so behind her is the dark, sort of swampy woods, where this bandit's going to... They don't get sneak attack, right? They do not. So there's no reason for them to really not just use their light crossbow. They're going to make a stealth check against, I guess, Imbar's passive perception. And they're definitely going to beat that. So they'll have advantage, and they're going to fire their light crossbow into them. 17, they probably have a +3. They do indeed. 1d8 plus 1 piercing damage. Fires a crossbow into her back. Ah! And she'll take 4 points of damage. She's alright. More than anybody else, Imbar's okay. Alright, and that's the scout, the bandit. Do they make it back into the tree line where they can be totally hidden? No. Okay. So they are going to be out here. They're going to have their sort of half cover again. From sort of the trees and stuff. And then that is the Berserker's turn. The Berserker was hurt by both of them. Hi, she goes after Imbar. Nope, they're going to go after Leah. They're going to Reckless, of course. They're going to hit. I think they do a D12. For the Wolbarians. Berserk. And the Great Axe +5 to hit. 1d12 plus 3. Yeah. That'll do her. So 5 points of damage. Or sorry, 6 points of damage to Leah. Who is okay. Not great, but okay. Alright, that is the Berserker's turn. The Acolyte's turn. The Acolyte is still hanging out back there. Do they go into combat? I think that's highly unlikely. Yeah, they don't. Okay, so they are going to use their Sacred Flame cantrip. Again, still has a whole litany of people they could attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of them they could attack. Who do they attack? 5, Jurgen. Okay, Jurgen needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Get Sacred Flame, fails, and will take 1d8 radiant damage. So she will take 6 points of damage. So she's not looking great. Alright, and then that takes us to the Apprentice Wizard, who is going to do their special thing. They're going to use their Arcane Burst. They really only have 2 people outside that are good targets that don't have a bunch of cover. So go after one of them. So if it's low, it's going to be Leah. It's low. So the Arcane Burst, when they do that, they make an attack roll, right? Yes, +4. Uh, 15, which is exactly her AC. And they do a D8. Oh, 1d10 plus 2, force damage. Ow. Ouch. Okay, Leah's not in a good spot now. Alright, she has 9 hit points left. Things are not looking good. But that is all the bad guys. So we are now back into the good guys' turns. Finally. So it is Leah's turn. She is not feel good. She doesn't have any potions on her. She's going to have to like disengage and try to go back in through the door, I think, and try to get healed up. The door is probably unlocked because they're all they were standing watch outs out front. So I think she is going to sort of push open the door, turn around, and I think she's going to push her back to it and lock it. I know that leaves Imbar outside all by herself, but there's a window she could jump in through if she wanted to. And Leah just can't stay out there and take another hit from the Berserker. So she does extricate herself safely, and she's going to put herself in place of total cover, so she cannot be hit. And hope that Delg can immediately heal her, which, since it's his turn, that is what he's going to do. Delg will rush up, and he will do his healing, which is which actually it's not the target's level, it's actually their hit die, if I remember correctly. No, maybe it's target's level. I don't remember. I think it's hit die usually, though. So 1d6 plus 8. As he sort of bandages her up real quick. Alright, we'll take that. We'll take a cool 13 hit points. Alright, that puts us in a better spot. And we have Lex here because Delg cannot do that for us again. That's Delg's turn. So Delg has also now moved into total cover. Oh, did he get his readied action? When that guy came out to shoot, when the bandit came out to shoot, didn't he get to an option to shoot him? Nope. Did Jurgen? Probably not. Yeah, you're gonna take a shot at him with her spell. Oh, and hit with what is it? Starry Wisp. They take a D8 of radiant damage. 7 points for not our Apprentice Wizard, our bandit. They only have 11 hit points, so they're down to 4 hit points. Okie doke. And it's Leah, and that's Delg, and now it's Imbar's turn. Imbar's down there with the Berserker still. She really doesn't want to be toe-to-toe with him without an ally, because she works so much better with an ally. And she did just get shot in the back, so... Does she try to go in through the window? I don't think that's likely. I think she'll stay out here and fight it out. Yeah, -3, so she is going to fight it out. So she'll just take a swing at the Berserker. She's gonna hit the Berserker, but she doesn't get any of her extra bonuses, so only the 9 points of damage to the Berserker. Oh, technically she has advantage. Just in case she crits. She doesn't. Very close though, she crits on 19 plus. So unfortunately, only does 9 points of damage to him. Well, you hate to see it. Did I do that right? Not trusting my math today. In 33, right? Yes. Sorry, 34. So, Berserker looks fine. That's really all Imbar can do out there. It's Ott's turn. Ott's still in 3/4 cover. She can see I think she can see the Berserker, probably, or move to where they can see the Berserker, or even go outside. The Acolyte and the Apprentice are still sort of standing out there, so she could shoot one of them. She did just watch that Apprentice Wizard just really scorch Leah pretty badly. So I think she'll turn her attention on that Apprentice Wizard and throw 2 shots into him. Alright, well the 2 is certainly not going to hit, but the 9 might. The Apprentice Wizard I don't think has much AC. Yeah. So he's going to get hit once and has a whopping 13 hit points. Okay, so they're going to take a D8 plus 2. Okay, 5. So they have 8 hit points left. As they get shot with an arrow from Ott. Shot with Ott. Alright, and that is Ott's turn. She ducks back into 3/4 cover. Jurgen's up. Jurgen can... Who can Jurgen see? Here's a question. Is there room for her to move up next to where Ott is? Yes. Okay, so she'll move up there and then also take an attack on the Apprentice Wizard. That'll for sure hit. And they're going to take a D8 of Radiant. They'll take 6 points of Radiant damage. And they do not feel good. They're on their last legs. They just get pummeled with an arrow and then shot with that light. And now they're all lit up. So they're not looking good. It's Ott and Jurgen, so now it's the Bandit. The Bandit has to make a Charisma saving throw. See if they're going to... Or roll under for their stat to see if they're going to flee. They're probably going to flee. I hope. 9. What is their Charisma? They are probably still in it. Yep, their Charisma's a 10. Alright, so they're still going to fight. And they are going to reload their crossbow and step out and take another shot. There's really only one person that's standing out there in the front with no cover. So they're going to try to shoot Imbar again. Miss. Can they make it back into the shadows? Yeah, alright, so they're going to fully disappear. So the bandit's going to fully go back into... no line of sight. In the darkness. They move back into the darkness. The Berserker... the Berserker still has quite a few friends here, so they're not that worried about it. I don't think they're at half HP yet. Let's double check. But I don't think they are, so I don't think they need to make any saves yet. They're at 67, so 30... They're, like, right there. So I think they're good this turn, but next turn they're going to have to start making morale saves to see if they're going to stay in the fight or not. But for right now, they are perfectly fine. So they will turn around and try to do a Wickety Whack on the only person who's out there, who's Imbar, who they will crit. Well, that is unfortunate. I think you have to have line of sight for silvery barbs. I can almost guarantee it. Range 60 feet. Fiction. When a creature, you can say, we close the door. We can't see her. So can't do anything about that crit. So that's 2d12 plus 3, right? Yep, 2d12 plus 3. Ouchie, ouchie. Not a good time. Ooh. Ooh. 22 points of damage. Ow. It's not good. It's real bad. 22 points of damage to Imbar. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. So she is going to go down to 13 hit points. Alright. Well, that kind of changes plans. Certainly going to need the second wind. Wasn't planning on getting crit. Alright, that's the Berserker. The Acolyte, who has not taken any damage, I guess. Yet. They're going to step out, and they're going to do their thing. They're going to do... They can see 3 people right now. They can see 3 people right now. Who are they going to do? 1, 2, 3. 2. That's Ott. So Ott needs to make a dexterity saving throw from another... they absolutely pass. So, radiant energy goes kind of arcing in through the window and snaps right past Ott. And then kind of sneers. Can he make it back into the shadows? No. So he's still out. Alright, so that's the Acolyte. The Apprentice Wizard needs to make their save. Let me double check. I can't imagine that they have a 13 charisma. They have 11 charisma. They lose their crap and boogie out. They full sprint in the other direction into the darkness. They have left combat. Alright, that takes us to Leah, who has total cover. Who has gotten healed a little bit. So she feels a little bit better now. So she is going to... Does she open the door? Yeah, I guess she opens the door. And then... I was thinking of one on the web, but, I mean, why not go with the classics? Just do more... Magic Missile. It works so well. No, she can firebolt. Yeah, she'll open the door and firebolt that guy. Oh yeah, there, she's gonna hit him. 1d10 plus 1 because of her new staff. 5 points of fire damage. So they're whittling him away. And then I think she closes the door back. I don't think she wants to stay out there and take more hits. I think she closes the door back. But the door is not like barred or anything, so if anybody's trying to get in there, they just need to like a strength check to like push through Leah into the room, which will not be very difficult. And so that's Leah's turn. And after Leah, it's Delg, who is going to move over and heal. Somebody else needs healing quite badly. Imbar needs healing quite badly. Everybody needs healing quite badly. Imbar can second wind, though. Yeah, he's going to roll over and try to give Ott some healing. So 1d6 plus 8. Alright, 12 points for Ott. Takes us up to 28. Alright, so she's feeling better. That's Delg's turn. Delg's still in total cover. He's not getting anywhere near that doorway or the window. It's those. He's not going to make those deck saves, so he's staying away from that. And where are we at? It's Delg. Let's do Imbar. Imbar's out there fighting the good fight alone. First, she's going to second wind. Get her 6 plus. Is it your level, right? Is it? Pretty sure it's your level. Yep. Alright, so she's gonna get 10 hit points back, which is not great, but it's better than nothing. I wish it was 33. It's 23. But she will make a Moon Touch Longsword attack, so her silvery sword is flaring in the night. And that's a crit. Crit for a crit. You crit me, I'll crit you. And my crits do minimum goddamn damage. So, you know, I'm kind of a big deal around here. Crit for 4 damage. Delightful. Well, that could have gone better. Alright. Let's move on. Imbar doesn't do anything else. She's just holding the line. She's doing her fighter thing. Ott's at the top. Ott's still got cover. Ott is gonna... Ott can see the Acolyte. Ott's gonna plug the Acolyte. 3 is not gonna hit, but the 15 plus will. So they are going to take 3 ones in a row on d8s? Come on. Come on, dice. Come on. 3 points of damage. How much damage did these guys even take? We could have killed them in 1 hit. But instead, they have 6 hit points. Alright, well, they've got 6 hit points. That's fine. Alright, that's all. Just behind cover again. Jurgen's gonna pop up and I guess try to take out that Acolyte. So with the same thing, she needs to make a spell attack. That probably hits. Oh yeah, their AC is only 10. No, wait, that's a Apprentice Wizard. Yep, their AC is also only 10. So yeah, I mean that'll do her. 8 and gets absolutely bombasted by some radiant energy flying in there and just annihilates that Acolyte, and they fall to their corpse falls still glowing into the shallow waters. Jurgen's like, yes. Bandit needs to make their save. Things are not going their way. The tide of battle has turned. If they keep their save, they still feel pretty comfortable though. For some reason, they've been hit. They step out and Because I'm going to say that they are... Make a little stealth check, but they're probably pretty good. Yeah, they'll be fine. Against Imbar's perception, so they'll have attack with their light crossbow that they've reloaded and shot, and they're going to, of course, crit her. I believe the light crossbow does d8s. So, alright, so 11 points damage. So, you know, all those hit points we just got back, we just got taken away. Imbar's getting absolutely annihilated out there. We gotta get her out of there. Alright, is the bandit able to make it back into the trees? No. Alright, so they are out. They are flushed. Good. Somebody on my team kill that bandit. The bandit's been doing the most consistent damage. Alright, and it's Berserker's turn. Berserker's only got one person. They're gonna reckless attack. You know they're gonna do that. But there's no way they have a +7 to hit. They will not hit Imbar. Imbar fights them off. Tired, peppered with a few quarrels, and some magic. Not looking great. But she is able to hold them off. Perfect. Imbar. Imbar. It's not Imbar's turn. It's Leah's turn. Leah's still in total cover. I think somebody probably says that. I think it's probably... I was being funny, but I do think that... I think Imbar's like, somebody take care of that goddamn crossbow. First with a crossbow. Yeah, and I think Leah's rejuvenated. She kicks open the door, and she points at that bandit that's hanging out there, and I mean, I know he has 4 hit points, so I was like, oh, I'll just use magic missile, but she doesn't know that, so she's going to use a firebolt. She's gonna hit. Big money, no whammies. Wow. The bandit has 4 hit points. We decided to do 3 hit points of damage to it. Man. The low rolls on this is real tough. The bandit's just hobbling around with 1 hit point. And she, you know, lights him up with a firebolt. It streaks through that sort of foggy night air and hits him. He starts burning up a little bit. Alright. Great job. She is no longer in total cover. She left the door open. She's standing free and clear in the night air. Which leaves Delg without cover. No, sorry. No, Delg moved. He is going to move. Somebody else needs probably some hit point help. He could do Imbar. Is he driven to an act of heroism? Yes. Action Delg. Delg goes into action mode. He puts the sports crocs in action mode, or sport mode, and he rolls through the doorway and goes to bandage up Imbar. So she'll get the 1d6 plus 8. All right, 11 hit points. It's more than she has. Back up to 23. And she's been healed. It cannot be healed any further. That is Delg's. There's no way Delg's going to have enough room to get back in. So, especially if he had to go around the Berserker. Does he... Here's a good question, though. Does he have enough room to get into, like, flanking? No. Alright, he can't get into flanking. He doesn't have enough room to do that. Alright, so that's Delg. Imbar's down. She does have enough movement, so she will move into flanking on the Berserker. And make her an attack with advantage across Delg. Yeah, this guy's not hard to hit. He has 13 AC. Nice. 10 points damage. She cuts into him again. And the Berserker starts to flag. Realizing that some of his compatriots are dead, some of his compatriots have run, and some of them are doggedly standing, barely, leaning against one of the trees at the tree line, ready to keel over. Still go Zimbar. Ott. Then let the bad guys go? I think I skipped the bad guys, didn't I? Man, I'm not on my game this morning. That's alright. I'm gonna let them go now, because I feel like they should be going. No, Leah took the shot. Yeah, no, we're good. It is Ott's turn, though. So Ott will... You know what? I think Ott's gonna jump out of... No, he can see the bandit, so he'll take a shot at the bandit. Eight plus 5, so 13. There's a 13... Is there AC 13? Their AC is 12. So she kills one. She kills the bandit. And she's pretty good health-wise, right? Yeah. So she's going to actually hop through the window, move to her spear, shift over to her spear, drop her bow, and move into flanking and use her second attack. Actually, she gets to move for free and make a bite attack because she actually just killed somebody against that guy. So she'll do that. She would technically have advantage. Doesn't matter. That will do it. She'll do, like 6 points of damage to him. 6 or 7? 7. So she bites into that berserker. She vaults through the window and rushes over to him with the spear in her hand, and then just clamps onto sort of like his neck shoulder area. Just bites down with her massive jaws and does 9 points of damage to him. And then is going to take her actual second attack. And try to just skewer him with her spear real quick. 8 plus 5 is 13, which that's exactly their AC. Come on, big money, 6. And 6 hit points is exactly what we need. And the bad guys are gone. That is the end of combat. So we come out of combat. Everybody kind of looks around. Alright. So we have some people to some corpses to maybe mill over, but I think we're going to put our rest first and foremost. We're going to finish our rest. Leah goes back to trancing. Whoever's on guard duty with Imbar swaps out, probably for like Delg or somebody. And they're going to swap out, or maybe for Ott. And everybody beds back down. We already did the third roll, so we know that nothing else happens through the night. So they are able to complete a long rest. And I think that's probably where we're going to call it. That seems like a good place to call it, I feel like. So we made it back. Got it. We're going to gather everything. I'm going to do the rolls in between for like the resupply. Like I got to check the arrows and the healer kit and all that stuff. And we'll have to do another rations check and all that stuff. But we are here. We have collected our mule. So we have got Dren. We've got everybody back. It's now to make our way back to Split Valley Oasis. Turn in this quest with Relendart. Maybe make it back to the Carjunta and try to figure out what we're going to do next. We need to talk to Omer about the cipher codes that we have. We still have that blank page from Gimbal to see if we can get an idea of what's going on there. And once we get back to Split Valley Oasis and Akari Liaden's estate, once we're there, which has been sort of like our base camp right now, sort of our safe haven. So once we get back there, we're going to have an opportunity for, I think, a little bit of downtime as people start working through the codes and the ciphers, and Dren's half-brother gets sent back off to take over his keep and all that stuff. And I think we'll have a little bit of downtime. We'll do our full level up for level 5. And we'll figure out what the next part of our adventure is going to look like based off of what we get out of that information that we have once we break the ciphers and we figure out how to reveal what is probably writing on a blank page. So that's it. Always a lot of fun. I'm glad that we didn't get bogged down with a whole bunch of combats in the dungeon. We were actually able to get out of the dungeon. I know we've been there like 5 or 6 sessions, so I was ready to kind of get back above ground and kind of do our cool sort of exploration stuff and figure out what's kind of going on with the larger plot. But we still got to figure out what's going on with Leah's father and how that pertains to her and the foreign faction. We got a lot of question marks that we're trying to give answers to. Try to wrap up with a nice bow and try to get that taken care of and done and set off to the side and move on. But always fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I will see you guys next time. All right, bye bye.